Hello and welcome to another Windows 95 guide video. Today we'll be showing off some of the new things that I've done with my server since we last conjoined. So let's get into it. So while that's copying some files over, I'm going to show off what I did to the inside of the server and the outside. So I start off here. I got some more drives than I did before. So I have two floppies. Only one of them works right now. I haven't figured out how to get dual floppy mode yet. That'll come. I got the Zip 100 hooked up. I got 3 CD drives. These two here are like multi-purpose DVD, CD, writers, recorders, stuff like that. I can do DVD RAM too. And this one here is just a plain CD drive, but I can also write CDs. It might be a re-recordable one. I gotta look at that. But I wanted one of these in here so that I had like the nice the volume control you get with CD and stuff. I wanted that. Many reasons. And I labeled all of my bays. So I'm going to come up there. They're all labeled so that I can figure out which ones are what. Because in my computer it just labels these two here as DVD RAM drives and this one as CD. So this is the only one you could really figure out what it is. These ones you can't, and it just makes it easier for any purpose that you're using these drives. So that's why I did that. Another thing is I swapped these labels. I put the ASUS label where it should be. It did get a little ripped, but that's okay. This whole computer looks pretty clapped. And then down here I put the Intel sticker where it should be. So I fixed the sticker mishaps because whoever built this computer put them in the wrong spots, and it annoyed me pretty bad. I hated it. And Audigy is up here now, just because it's out of the way, and the cord just barely reached. I had to move the sound card up one more PCI slot, so that was that took some finagling. Next year, I just have this in here for right now because it fits, and I'm using the drives, or I'm installing some stuff on here, getting the server aspect of it working. Once again, someone's texting me when I should be sleeping. Whatever. So I did some cable management in here since last time. This up here is still a rat's nest, but down here it's better. I can get to my RAM a lot easier inside of there, which is what I wanted because I have issues sometimes where it doesn't boot and I have to reseat the RAM and reseat the video card and then it works. I still haven't figured that out yet, but it's just nice that I can get into my RAM easily because it bothered me. I also moved all the hard drives up to the top most bays so that I can get one more in here if I wanted to, which I plan. I have a Seagate 250 gigabyte drive I'm probably going to put in here. If I don't find my 2 terabyte, I have no idea where it went. But if I had my 2 terabyte, it would definitely go right there. The fan is more secured. It's really secured now. It's keeping everything nice and cool. I also installed another PCI IDE bus. So I have an extra bus here if I ever wanted to put another IDE drive in here. But this one here runs the top 2 drives, and I needed that because I'm out of IDE controllers on the motherboard. There's soldering spots to have I think 1 or 2 more IDE controllers, but they're not populated, and I don't have any IDE solder on spots, and I don't really want to get into that, so it's just easier to put one of these in, and I have 3 of those, so if I really wanted to I can ditch the network card or something and do that, because there's a dial-up card at the bottom here that isn't being used because I don't have any dial-up services here. This one here, I could get rid of that, put an IDE controller, and also have this here is an Ethernet controller, only because I didn't find the drivers for the one on the board here, on the motherboard, and I was quickly trying to find drivers before I made this video. I'd run over to my mom's and download drivers. Downloaded ones and they didn't want to unpack themselves from the RAR file. I just gave up, stuck in one of these 3 comms that I know would work. And we'll see how it works. And so far, it's found the drivers. But I haven't been able to get it to work yet. But I'm still working on getting the server aspect of the server working. Also, I put all of the plastic pieces from the front, I just stuck them down there so I don't lose them. So there's a whole bunch of them sitting there. And same with the metal piece, there's a metal piece down here too. Yeah, so just pretty much some cable management I did. I resecured the fan. I don't remember in the last video or not. No, this was after the video. After I made that video, I tried starting it up, and it had a CPU fan error, and it was a error that you can't just, press F1 to continue. It just stayed there, and it sucked. I didn't know how to solve it, so I made this hodgepodge right here. So I stuck one of these case fans. It's not a genuine case fan. It's got like weird connectors that aren't really the right ones. And it's made this whole thing, like the lower motor. It was really kind of cool. I liked it, but it didn't. It did make the CPU fan error go away because they aren't real computer fans. They're just like fans for some sort of a industrial purpose. So it didn't work. So I just found. Let's see if I can get in here. Might be able to see my tripod's getting in the way here. Yeah, right there. That's my CPU case fan. It's just a small little fan that I have hooked up to the CPU and then exhausting air. So it works, and that's all that matters. It makes the error go away. That's all I wanted. So that solved that, and I could use the operating system. And the more drives I added, the more problems it had with the BIOS, and it's like, dude, you got so many drives, don't boot it. And it didn't want to boot, it had like the next thing was like detecting USB drives or something, and that was really weird. I didn't know. I just hung up on that. I don't know why. But then I went into the BIOS and messed around with the IDE settings, and I put it to like SATA and PATA mode, whatever that is. I just messed around with that until eventually it worked. So I'm just gonna, fingers crossed, it's working. And I'll move the light up here. This is my network switch. This is from my old server. I bought this a while ago, but this right here, my finger, there it is. This is a network switch. It has 8 connections. So it splits out a network connection 8 times and allows it, we can have 8 different computers hook up to it. And down here is just a Netgear, whatever, no, it's not the name. It's like a Wi-Fi router thing, and you apparently need one of these in order to make the network switch work. So I have, right now, the server hooked up to the network switch. It goes to this, not the network switch, goes to this, and then this goes to this. So this is creating all the connections and junk. So that supposedly works. Now, before I figured out why the server wasn't doing anything, why it wasn't connecting to the rest of the computers, because while I was trying to figure that out, I had this computer here, which I think is still on. Yeah, it's still on. Windows 2000, real good machine. And right now it's only showing that. This is the computer here. This is like, it's showing itself because there's nothing else hooked up. I don't have my Vista on, which I usually have on sometimes. This whole setup here isn't on, and this one over here is also on the network, but I don't have that one on either. These are like, there's very minimal computers I have that actually have local area network cards on them. This one had a card, but I took it out for the server, only because this computer could never find the drivers anyway, and I never really use it, and I don't even have it connected right now because I stole the cord for it for something else, so I'm not worried. That one I probably should turn on just to see if I can hook up to it, but I want to get the server part done. And then this one here is just a ghost computer right now, but it is on the network. It's, I need a power supply for the tower. I'm using the power supply in the Vista. And then this here is 2 computers. I have a Dell Dimension, XPS, something like that. And that has, it has a 98 hard drive in it from out of a compact, but I'm not really using it for that. I was going to use it as a network boot so that I could boot to the server and use this computer on the server as like a remote computer. Like if you're in school, you had those computer labs and all the computers would be hooked up to a server somewhere and it'd be super slow and no sound, really crappy. That's what I wanted. I wanted to try it with that just to see if I could do it. And then over here I have a Windows 7 tower hooked up to this monitor via a, I think this is TrendNet. What is this? TrendNet. Yeah, TrendNet monitor. Like it's peripheral thing. You can put up two different computers up to this, and you can just swap between the two of them. Real nice. Yeah. And this computer here doesn't even have network, I don't think. No, I was wrong. It has dial-up, but that doesn't help. I had a terminal, IBM 3151, that I was going to hook up to the server here as a terminal. But I don't know enough about terminals or even really what they are, so I'm just gonna save that for another time. Also, what do you think about this? It's pretty, what's the word? Dramatic? Cinematic? I don't know, I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know why it blinks like that. Maybe a bad driver. Onward! Alrighty. So it finished installing what I needed, supposedly. I don't know, we'll see what it does. I don't know if it's going to need a restart or not. Yeah, it needs a restart, so I'm going to let that do that. There was another, it never gets old hearing that XP sound. I'm sure everyone somewhere has used Windows XP and has a remembrance of what it was like using it. For me, my first use of Windows XP was in my elementary school. I had a whole computer lab full of computers, all as you call beige boxes, and that was like that all the way up till 4th grade. And then my 5th grade year, I come back from summer and we have Windows 7, and the beige boxes are gone. They now have, no, actually, let me think about this. No, it did have the monitors, but they got new towers. They were HP Net. No, that's IBM. They were like some sort of a network tower. They were small. I have a couple of them, but they're Vista ones. They were the same thing. And they upgraded those, and then later in the year they got new monitors. I remember one of the monitors had a problem where the colors were off, and I fixed that. Me being the network kid I am, or not the network, the geeky kid I am. But yeah, my entire elementary school years pretty much were from these beige boxes, and that's how I became the person I am, always wanting a computer lab for myself. That was my inspiration, was my elementary school, seeing a big computer lab, just with a bunch of white beige boxes, you know. That was my childhood dream, to own a lab. And I was pretty happy that I got this whole room. And I remember at one point I was able to connect them all to this network switch once, and I had a net meeting going, if anyone remembers that. It's like the predecessor of Skype. I had that set up, and I had a couple different computers with, what do you call them? Cameras? Webcams. I had those hooked up. It was pretty cool. Yeah, these are all like overclocking things. Nothing too big here. So let's see here. File server, application server, terminal server, remote access, VPN. Alright, so what I was trying to do is I was trying to make a domain. I'm not good with that. So let's see here. That's something else. Well, that reminds me, I gotta finish installing some components here. Because there was one more component I needed to add after it restarted to make this work. So active that. Yeah. SLL certificate must be installed. Website. Oh boy. Okay. I'm figuring out servering for myself here. We're doing it together, figuring this out. Let's see, internet. Yep. Where's it gonna open right here? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's make this full screen. So I need a certificate. Primary options, action, new web service extension. Try this. Oh boy. No. How do I make a certificate for a help file here? Oh boy. site setup. Where is certificates? This is frustrating. I don't know anything about servers, and I'm trying to make a server. Isn't that great? Isn't that an amazing thing? This over here is the drive that I was trying to make a server here. What is that? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna come back to this when I actually have an idea. As you can see here, I have the server working now. So I can go to whatever file I want on any of the computers that are on the server. So that's pretty cool. And I can connect to whatever other, like if I had a different computer hooked up to the server, like my laptop over here, I can access the files on this computer here. Same with the one over there, and my 98 over in the farthest corner does not work with it. I have to figure that out. It's just something that's a little annoying. And then the Vista didn't want to work with it either, and I think my Windows 7, I don't think that wanted to work with the server either. Small glitches, but I'm happy that my Windows 10 worked with it so that I can take all of my YouTube videos like this one here, and I can automatically back them up to the server. This isn't on the internet yet. I still don't have internet here. But what I have for right now is one of these. It's like a portable hard drive, and I'd store all of my YouTube videos on it. And when I come back here, I have all the videos on here, and I have the server here, and I back up all of my videos and everything and put them on the server so that I have everything there, which I ended up finding a 2 terabyte hard drive. It was in my Windows 7. I forgot to even put it in there. So let me zoom in on the screen here. As you can see, this one's 111 gigabytes, this one's 74, and this one's 2 terabytes. So that'd be my main storage here. All my videos are on here. So everything is backed up and I have it on the server. So it pretty much successfully worked. I just didn't get the remote accessing part worked yet, but it will be later. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you hopefully next week.